Welcome to the Destin Business Forum, brought to you by the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Amy Perry, and today I have the 2018 Chairman, Mr. Bob Perry. You are the General Manager at Destin Commons.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Shane Moody, you are the President, CEO, and janitor.
Yes, all of the above. All of the above.
For the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bob, just for those three people in the area that do not know you, tell us a little bit about what you do in your other job first.
My other job, Destin Commons.
Your other career.
running the Commons is a fun job. It's a good staff there that takes care of everything. That's why I can be here this morning.
There you go.
But it's basically keeping the place operational, both financially and fiscally and physically.
And it's great training for being the chairman of the chamber.
Great training.
It's great training.
That's right. That's
Budgetary
right.
responsibilities and all those fun things.
Well, as a shopper, recovering shopaholic, thank you for the Destin Commons.
My pleasure. Glad to be of service.
Okay, so you are the 2018 chairman.
Yes.
Incoming. So what do you have on board for this year?
It's really a question of continuing on with what Lockwood Wernette has done last year and the relationships that he continued to build on. Certainly with a new TDC chairman, Jennifer Adams, in place, we want to develop a relationship with her. With Nathan Sparks at the EDC, we want to continue that relationship, and of course our relationships with all the other chambers in the area.
Got it. All right, how about you? What's
My job's to do what he tells me to do. You know, when my phone rings and it says Bob Perry.
That's what he says, but that's not the case. I already know that.
Yeah, no, I would emphasize what Bob said too, and I would add to that. You know, working with the city of Destin, trying to get things corrected at the city level, the government level there, not have development be completely shut down. You know,
Sure.
it's you know, Kevin Boyer was our chairman coming in 2006. One of the things he said was growth is inevitable, quality growth is imperative. You know, growth is going to happen, but to control it means to make it good development, and it doesn't always mean condos. Development isn't always condos. So, you know, it's you got to think about not just catering to the tourists, but to the people who live here,
Right.
And make it a great place. Quality of place and quality of life are very important. So with the city, that's kind of a focus for us as well.
I think it's also following what's going on in the state. There are a number of movements underway within the state to change some things in the way of our tax laws and in the way of offshore drilling and things of that sort.
Absolutely, and this is the guy that
He is.
I hate to
He
give
is
him
connected.
any kind of compliment.
I know it.
Especially like on television, but
I'll do it for you.
he's the guy. I mean, I knew it
That
before
hurts
I was
coming
chairman.
from a past chairman. God.
I knew it before I was chair, but
Right.
but when I was chair, I really appreciated his relationships, the
Connectivity.
respect that he has
Right.
for some reason, and his knowledge. So oil drilling. We talked a little bit about that. Tell me what's the word?
Well, you know, after the oil spill in 2010, it became kind of a state issue. You know, we fought it really hard at the state level. Now it's a federal issue. And so we're fighting it not just from the tourism standpoint. You know, we don't want oil wells out there that the tourists can see. We don't want oil washing on the beach. But, you know, we're a huge military community. Destin maybe not so much as our surrounding county. And the Gulf of Mexico is a huge research, development, and training range for the military, and not just the Air Force, but you know, the Navy comes in out there, the Army goes out there, everybody goes out there. So we got to protect it economically from that standpoint too, because that's billions of dollars to our local economy. We think we're doing okay on that. You know, Matt Gates is representing us in Washington. He's doing a great job taking on local issues for us, and so we'll continue to work with Matt as he needs us to help him defend the no drilling in the Gulf, and so we'll continue to fight that.
Okay. And I always think the military aspect is huge, and I think a lot of people do forget that. And also, you know, God forbid something else happens.
Right.
It might not be a big company that can try to
Recover
put people
the way they did.
back
Yeah.
Exactly.
to where
Exactly.
they were.
Right.
I mean, that's just
Right.
that's a big issue. All right, you mentioned something before we started shooting, Shane. Home rule. Tell me what that is.
Well, there's right now across the state of Florida, home rule exists for each community, meaning that the local community can manage and set jurisdiction and ordinances to manage short-term rentals. In other words, right now the city of Destin can say short-term rentals must operate this way. Well, there are a couple of senators and a couple of representatives in Tallahassee who think that the state should control short-term rentals across the state, so that every community would have to follow the state laws rather than be able to pass a law that helps them locally. Well, Florida is one of the great things about Florida is the uniqueness of all of its communities. I mean, think about us here, and you know this, and I know you do as a past chairman, you know, even next door to us, the communities right next door to are totally different than Destin. And then you go past them, and those communities are totally different.
Right.
So
And even within our county, they're so different.
Exactly. And you know, one rule is not going to satisfy short-term rentals across the state. Destin is not Orlando or Miami or Fort Lauderdale or even Bonita Springs or Captiva Island. So we should be able to set our own rules managing short-term rentals, our own ordinances in Destin and in Okaloosa County. Let Orlando set theirs, let Miami set theirs. So we're trying to fight that and keep the state from preempting what we call home rule.
I don't understand the thinking behind that. I really don't.
Right.
I mean, it just seems like the locals would be better able to
definitely.
see what the needs are.
Right, exactly.
The more we can control locally, the better off we are. There's no doubt. And I think that goes across the board, not just in this issue, but in most other issues in our daily lives. We don't need the
At least
higher
have a
level
process
government.
that you can go through
Right.
to.
Right. You know, when a senator or a representative, say from Sarasota or from Daytona Beach, has no idea what issues we face. So why should they be setting rules in Tallahassee that govern the way our city will manage short-term rentals?
All right. TDC, tax dollars, somebody was saying something about that.
Yeah, there's also some legislation coming out in Tallahassee that they want to use local TDC tax dollars for infrastructure projects as the county sees fit. In other words, the money that's used for marketing and maintaining tourist-related facilities in town could now be taken away by the county to pave a road or put in stormwater control, 40 miles from here. So that's something that we don't think that TDC tax dollars should be used for infrastructure projects.
Correct.
Right.
It needs to stay with the marketing and of the tourism, and which is what it's paid by, is by the tourists.
Okay, I've learned a lot in this little bit of time.
You want to come back as chairman, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know somebody who can get you on the show again. So come back in a couple months and update us on
Absolutely.
Love to.
Would love
That's
to.
important.
We'd love
Amy.
to. Time flies.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.